I had the first YouTube scandal. I paved the way for you bitches.
I guess it's like, absolutely.
Oh my god! Yeah. You learn so many lessons on a daily basis being a creator. I feel like I have learned valuable life lessons that people don't learn until they're way older.
Absolutely. Good day everyone, and welcome to a brand new series of mine called Campfire Kiki, where I bring some of my close friends around the campfire and we just have a cute old Kiki. In honor of this Kiki, I name this episode Drama in the Community.
Oh god. I need to go!
I need to call my manager. I need to exit.
Today, I have Miss James Charles.
Hi, sister.
And Miss Nikita Dragun.
Who said that was my pronoun? Why does she get a miss? I should be like a mister at this point.
Oh, okay. Welcome to the campfire.
Thank you.
We have s'mores, some marshmallows if you feel like roasting.
We love roast.
We're here to just chat, get to know each other a little more, and I have some questions. Ladies,
Yes.
we've all had our share of drama in the community.
Have we?
Have we?
We sure have.
I hope this is the right episode for us.
But I just,
You've had like one scandal, Joey.
it was the first scandal, okay?
Did you have a scandal?
Yeah, when
Yes.
his taxes got leaked, Mama.
Well, I left my tax returns on the seat of my car that I parked in front of someone's driveway, and so my car got towed, and then he ended up making a video exposing me. It was like the first exposed video.
The person who you parked in front of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the towing company?
No,
He
it
like
was the
literally made a video,
person.
was like, look at how much money Graceffa makes. This is how much he owes in tax returns. So awful.
Oh my,
Yeah.
isn't that like illegal?
I think it was, but he like
Definitely.
bleeped out his like mouth, but you could tell how much I made because of what he
Wow.
said. So anyways, yes, I had the first YouTube scandal. I paved the way for you bitches.
I guess it's like, absolutely.
Oh
I
my
guess,
god.
yeah, she was
Thank you so
exposed
much,
first.
sweetie. It means
You're
a lot.
welcome.
She has a good PR team because I didn't know about it. Hi.
Just ignored it. Back when you could ignore drama.
Yeah.
I feel like the YouTube community has evolved over time to become extremely hateful and really intense with the cancel culture
Yeah.
and just how hard people go.
Yeah.
But I guess with all this negativity in this space, what is like some of the positive parts right now that you can kind of see that make it somewhat okay to be bearable?
I think like probably my favorite part about the community, even when it is being negative, is like you learn so many lessons on a daily basis being a creator. I feel like I have learned valuable life lessons that people don't learn until they're way older, like all packed
absolutely.
into a really short period of time. And I feel like it's made me like a really, really strong person to be able to get through some of the things that like, I mean, I've gotten myself into a lot of them. Like I can't like deny that. I love learning. I love test taking. So like I always like soaking up information and learning lessons and like trying to apply that information elsewhere. So I do feel like I've definitely become like a resourceful and stronger person because of the things that like social media has kind of thrown me into.
How old were you when you started?
I started doing like my like actual channel now when I was like just about to turn 17.
Okay.
Like
And
I was still 16 at the time.
how old were you when like your channel really blew up?
I think I was 17 when I first time to Cover Girl, so that's kind of when everything started like really exploding. So I was definitely like really, really young. I just feel like obviously there's no excuse for like ignorant behavior or just like stupid behavior, but at the same time, like not everybody has the same upbringing and same experiences. And I grew up in like a very suburban, like middle class neighborhood where I wasn't really taught a lot of like important
course.
life lessons about like social justice and like social issues and things that like now I'm obviously educated on and I'm passionate about. I didn't even know those issues really existed. Like I was ignorant to the world. Not everybody has the same upbringing and experience. So.
Yeah.
How old were you when you started?
I mean, I was around the same age as you were, and I think I honestly didn't take it seriously for like a really, really long time. I was focused on like going to school, like trying to figure out what my life was gonna be, and I think the biggest thing was just struggling with my gender identity. It wasn't until I moved to LA that I just wanted to document everything. It didn't take off for me until I was honest and like sharing my journey, like about sitting down and being like, I am transgender. Like that was the first time I ever said it aloud, ever. That's how my parents found out about it. That's how everyone found out about it, because it went like slightly viral and everyone saw it and was sharing it back in my hometown. But yeah, it's been trippy. But I feel like for some reason in like the last like 6, maybe 3, even as close as 3 months, like things have like really like taken a turn for me, which is exciting. It's really cool. It's really cool. I think it's because like I've just distinguished like what it is that I personally do that like people don't do.
Yeah.
And just like I don't care what other people, because before I feel like I was like so like, oh my god, you know, you're posting this and you're posting this. Like I need to like be like a YouTuber. I need to do this. I need to do that. And I feel like I wasn't finding my identity for a really, really long
your
time.
niche, like your...
Yeah, my niche and my own voice, because I was trying to almost like copy everyone else. I was seeing other successful people, and I feel
Which
like
is so easy to do in this world. Yeah. It's so easy to compare yourself to others. Did you ever have a coming out video?
I came out when I was 12. So, like, people, I mean, everyone kind of knew when I was
I feel like you'd be the type that's like, I am homosexual and this is how I am.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I came out when I was 12. My parents caught me online. There's a video about it if you want to watch the story time. It's a fun video. I mean, once again, valuable lessons learned. But I came out when I was 12.
What was she watching? What category?
Well, she wasn't exactly watching.
Oh!
Okay. I've been out for a really long time, so I mean, even before that, like, I was always, like, putting my mom's stockings in my head and, like, pretending it was, like,
oh my God,
wig before I could get one.
Yep.
Like, wearing my mom's bras or, like, putting on her heels, like, stomping around the house, and she's like, what is going on here? So, like, there was no surprise. And
That's
I'm kind of grateful that it happened in the way that it did, too, because it was more of, like, a, oh God, please be careful type of moment, rather than, like, oh my God, you're gay. So it's kind of, like, deflected a little bit of that, like, the shock value.
Was there, like, a stigma around being gay at that time?
I didn't know. There was no other kids in my school that were, like, out as gay. There was one other boy that I was friends with. His name was Jack, and he was on Broadway, so we knew he was gay, too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like...
I was on Tumblr a lot when I was little, so, like, I knew about being gay, and, like, Tumblr was kind of, like, my source of, like, education. That's, like, I learned everything. I, like, started learning about, like, what it is to be a social person and, like, about issues and stuff, and, like, trying to educate myself about different things. So, like, it was just normal to me. So, like, I didn't really know anything about it. I just knew that I liked boys.
So you weren't, like, scared of it? I guess
No.
that's really cool.
Literally not at all. Like, my parents, like, never really talked about it. Like, we grew up Christian. My dad was really religious. My mom was not at all. So, like, it was, like, kind of, like, a nice balance and stuff. My religion teacher was a little questionable, not the best. So, like, I'm, like, hearing the fact, like, maybe gay isn't okay.
Wow.
But I was kind of just, like, I never really cared about it. And I think I honestly think, like, Tumblr was really what kind of saved me and, like, taught me, like, okay, this is fine. Like, clearly there's a lot of other people out there that are dealing with the same thing. And I think, like, so many other YouTubers as well. Like, I remember watching your music video when you kissed Daniel for the first time, and I was like, and then I was like, wow, we saw that coming. But, like,
she felt a little something in there.
No.
She felt a little ding.
No. But it was
That's me.
That's me. It was just really exciting to see that.
Are you turning all the people gay?
There was a lot of creators that I loved watching that were out and, like, just made me feel really welcome and, like.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I never really, like, was ashamed.
That's awesome.
Which is kind of good, yeah.
Yeah. No, to know that experience also exists, like, there's different sides of the spectrum of, like, having good experiences and bad experiences, which I sometimes feel like hearing so much of the bad experiences also creates a lot of fear in young people to be like, oh my God, like, I'm not going to be accepted because, but it's good to hear that there are good experiences, regardless of doing a coming out video, but you being a boy in makeup who's so fiercely and confidently just themselves, literally just provides so much, like, comfort in those boys
which
who
is
want
so crazy, like,
to do that.
It's that's, like, my favorite part about my job by far. Because, like, obviously, like, that, I mean, like, I didn't go into this being like, oh, I'm going to change the world and help make people happy. Like, obviously, like, that's my goal now that I have a platform and I realize the power that it has. But, like, I just wanted to start playing with makeup because I've always been a very artistic kid. Like, I never in a million years would have ever imagined, like, I'd be able to, like, touch people in that way. And, like, that's just such a, like, it's, like, the coolest thing in the entire world.
Did you start out watching YouTubers, or?
Yeah, I would watch YouTubers. I was, like, the same as, like, I didn't ever had, like, a Tumblr, but I learned everything from YouTube. Like, everything.
So crazy.
Like, there was some trans girls, like, posting stuff back in the day, too, and, like, just, like, your coming out video. Like, there was, like, so many people that, like, I feel like education wasn't that great in Virginia, so they weren't really, like, educating us on, like, the full range of everything.
Gay was never once mentioned in, like, my education.
Gay,
ever.
Trans, don't even ask about trans. Like,
nothing.
I had to come out twice because I was like, I didn't even know what trans was. I don't know what that means.
Oh my gosh. But it's so cool to, like, have you guys be a viewer turned into a YouTuber.
Yeah. I feel like that's happened kind of a lot recently.
Wanted? Like,
what, were you never, I guess you really were never a viewer because you were, like, such an OG.
Right.
Because you were just, like, posting.
I mean, I think, like, like, I just always enjoyed it. And, like, of course, like, yeah, when I started my channel, I was like, oh, I'm going to be, like, famous on YouTube and stuff when I was, like, 13. But then I just started doing hair and makeup and, like, went away from that. Like, was still watching all the time and enjoying it, but, like, never really wanted to be, like, a creator of any sort. So like when I started my Instagram, like that was really what I was focusing on. Like I loved my Instagram, just posting crazy looks because I could like edit photos and edit videos to like be like cute and funny on there and stuff. And like there was no drama on Instagram either, so it was like my little happy place. And then once I hit like I think like 200,000, everyone's like, okay, we want videos, we want tutorials, like we need to like we want to see how you do these looks.
Yeah.
So then like that kind of is what got me into YouTube, of being like, okay, sure, like let's try it out and see where it goes. It didn't explode right away. Like I was doing videos for a while and like they were not doing great.
Right.
Like, they were
But
awful quality, gross, like in my basement, like with like a little softbox. But like
everything.
But it's like everything. Like everyone has to start somewhere and stuff. And I think like obviously once CoverGirl happened, that's when everything started growing. And that's when I put a lot more effort into my videos because I wanted to like take the job seriously. I mean, like I had just signed with a new manager when I got CoverGirl, so it was before just like fun.
Have you told that story of like how you thought that you had to pay for a manager?
Oh no, I haven't.
It's hard.
I think it's
Why
so
did I tell
cute.
you that?
It was the first time we collabed. You told me about how the manager reached out to you. Will you tell it?
When I had my senior picture go viral on Instagram and Twitter, a woman had reached out to me who was managing a bunch of other big YouTubers at the time. She's like, I want to manage you. And I was like, oh my God. Because I had grown up watching all the other YouTubers that she was repping. So I was like, yes, let's do this. I want to sign with you. Like, make me a superstar. Like, let's go, girl. So I had a phone call with her and she's like, yeah, like this will be really great. Like, she just like gave me the grand spiel. And I was like, okay, like, to be honest, like I can't really like afford to pay you. Like I don't have any money. Because I didn't have any money. Like I was broke. I was 16. I like couldn't, in New York, I just had been able to start applying for jobs at 16.
Right.
So I was working at a frozen yogurt shop, and I was like, I can't afford these rates. Like, obviously, these big YouTubers that are paying you, like, are so rich.
Did she give you a rate? Or
No.
No. I was just overthinking, like, spitting out there, like, I can't afford to pay you. And she's like, sweetie, like, that's not how it works.
Yeah,
and
you don't pay your manager, by the way. If you're ever, like, being, like, approached by someone who's like, you have to pay me monthly, it's not how it works. They work off of percentages.
I like walking into a room for a meeting or getting a contract and being able to read it myself and understanding everything that's going on. Like I don't like, of course, like I'm grateful for my manager and my attorney that obviously now help me with all those things and take care of me. But like I like being able to also understand and be able to give my input and fully understand the context of what's happening. So it's like, so it's still kind of in my own hands. Like I'm able to make educated decisions. That's kind of how like it all started and stuff. It's so weird to think about, but yeah. So I didn't really go into it being like, I'm gonna be a YouTube star. Like that was the last thing I expected, honestly.
How do you guys navigate with friendships and knowing if someone's like trying to use you for the wrong reasons? Like,
I think it's like,
it's tough.
I think with the conclusion that I've come to, because I've done a lot of thinking about this and like I've been able to keep a lot of friendships on the platform, but I've also lost many too. So like I've definitely seen like the goods and the bads. People are like, oh my God, like this person like doesn't have any friends, like this person must suck, or like this person, like it's just, there's always like people's opinions and like, I'm sure this is what happens behind the scenes, and of course nobody ever knows. I feel like, I mean, in reality, people are all different, right? Some personalities get along and some personalities do not. And like the reality is that like just because we're YouTubers, like doesn't, like yes, we have something major in common, but it does not mean that everyone's like going to get along and be friendly. Like I think that's so, and a lot of people like assume like, oh, if these people aren't collabing, they must not be friends. Like, oh, if these people like aren't talking, they must hate each other. Like they must have gotten in this big fight. And like when in reality, some friendships like just are not destined to work out. And like it might be
people just don't mesh well.
Some people just don't mesh well.
You have that commonality of being a YouTuber, which kind of ignites the friendship. But then as you get to know them, you kind of realize, hey, maybe this actually isn't the best friendship.
It's hard to navigate.
And that's normal. That's a normal human thing.
It's completely normal, but I think with the added pressure of like having two audiences now come together with this joint friendship, it's insane. And I feel like having had friendships and like just, you know, in this industry or whatever, it's like, you know, even if you're not hanging out with this person or they don't even see you hanging out with the person, but like you'll actually be hanging out with the person, it's like, oh my God, like why aren't you snapping with Joey? Like, oh my God, like you guys aren't friends anymore. Like what's the drama? And like that's like the main, I feel like, thing of the drama.
It's just
like
so annoying too.
And,
it's like
people getting invested and people just like really having their like opinion about a lot of just different things. And it sucks when you have like creators coming together and it just gets all muddled in between. I feel like that's where a lot of the scandals and dramas happen, because it's all of a sudden like, oh, you know, this person liked this photo and that's this person's ex person, or like, you know, it all gets crazy because now you have, you know, millions of people invested into friendships. It's not just between two people at all. It's like,
which is not normal.
No,
it's not normal. But like, but people growing and people making friendships and people moving on from friendships is normal. Like that is a human thing that every single person does. And like, it's just the fact that like millions of people are watching us do it, it becomes drama, which is really, really frustrating.
But is it also really difficult to make friendships now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I've learned the hard way so many times. Like, there's even people that I, like, literally thought I was going to be friends with until the end of time that I've lost, and, like, that sucks, and is, like, literally one of the most crushing feelings ever. But, like, at the end of the day, not everything is meant to be, and, like, I just like to take everything as a positive and try to learn from it in any way that I can. Like, my closest friends always have been people that are outside of the industry. Like my family group chat that obviously both of you guys know, like none of them are like YouTubers.
Right.
Like my best friend runs a clothing business, so I'm friends with her and her husband and her brother. My other friend like works at a makeup store. My other friend is a YouTuber, but he does fashion and DIY content, so he's not in the beauty space. And then my other friend like is a makeup artist, and she like posts little vlogs here and there, but she's not like a big YouTuber. So it's all people that are like close to my industry, understand my industry, like but are not really in it. And it's it's literally like, they're my best friends in the entire world. They have never once betrayed me, done literally anything that would make me question their friendships or their loyalty or their true intentions. And it's just like, they're not yes men, so they'll say no if I'm doing something stupid, or they'll put me in check, like they're not afraid to do that. And like, we just always have something to talk about. It's always good energy. There's never drama, and if there is, we always talk it out like adults and like never post anything, shade each other. It's just like a healthy, normal friendship, because they're not people who have the platforms that like could even like do that. If you know what I mean? It's just like weird. But like, I'm still friends with a lot of big people. Like me and Nikita hang out literally like once a week at this point at least.
But I feel like a lot of my closest friends now are people that I met really before I was really anybody.
Yeah,
like
same.
I mean, James and I met I met you a little bit later, but like I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's hard. It's difficult with everyone just being around. And also too, I've had to learn the hard way of like people's real intentions, because it's like, you know, I try to see the good in everybody. So I feel like in terms of friendships, you really don't think that someone's going into it, that someone's going to use you, or someone's going to try to like leverage something over you, or
I'm very much the same way.
Yeah.
I'm a very trusting person,
yeah,
which sucks.
It's hard because it's like you want to, like if you're making friends with these people who in a way you've been fans of, it's like having millions of followers, it does not mean you're a good person. And that's not to say that people who do have a lot of followers are good people, but it's just like there are people at the end of the day, so there's going to be good people, there's going to be bad people.
Right.
Like,
that's what,
it's crazy. It's difficult to navigate. But
it is hard.
You've had, 13 years, that's a long time, girl.
I've gone through many friendships as well,
Yeah.
and it's hard. I'm at the point now where it's like, how do you make friends outside of YouTube? It's so hard.
It's really
because
tough.
our whole life is so consumed with our job that it's like, when do we ever make that time? And then also it's like, there's so many people who are trying to climb up and like want to take from your success. So it's like, how do you make friendships with those people without knowing their true intentions? It's scary. I'm so glad that you have that friend group, because
Me too.
especially during your last like whole scandal thing, if you didn't have that, like that would have been so difficult.
If I didn't have that, I would be dead right now. Like, I say that like not even like being dramatic. I don't think I would have made it through everything that went on, like without them being with me and making sure that I was okay, and like waking up in the middle of the night to check on me like every 10 minutes to make sure I didn't like literally do something dangerous. I went off the grid for several days when I was dealing with everything, and a lot of people thought that I was done the same thing.
For you. I like, because I had been in a similar situation, not to the level that you had. So I was like, if I kind of had those thoughts, I can't imagine the scale that you're at right now. Like, to have the whole world against you, how mentally fucking that is. That's not normal.
It's not. It's not at all. And like it's so awful too, because like that's something that like so many kids do feel suicidal, and so many kids deal with depression and full anxiety, and that's something that I wanted to talk about so badly. But like I knew that when I addressed everything and started to get back into everything, I had to just say the facts and deal with it on my own time, because if I brought any of that up, it would make it look like I was wanting sympathy or was trying to save myself or save face by like bringing up mental health, which is it's so crazy. And like even this morning, like I tried to tweet like rest in peace Etika, like cyberbullying is not okay, like pay attention to mental health, and everyone's like, people started attacking me. They're like, how are you making this about yourself? Like I'm like, I was like blown away. Like blown away. As like prime example, like this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like it's so sad, and like I didn't know him, so I don't want to pretend like I didn't know him, but like I've been following the story, and like it's just crushing. And I'm honestly surprised that it didn't happen sooner with somebody in the platform, because the mentality of some watchers and
the cancel culture.
The cancel culture and the bandwagon hate is not healthy, and it's not
like,
safe.
It's getting scarier and scarier. Like the intensity level.
Yeah.
It's literally like a Black Mirror episode. I know that's like dark and twisted to say, but it's like at that point.
Why do you think it's like that right now?
I mean, I don't know. I'm like such a weird geek in this way where I'm like, okay, if you think about it, like gladiators, like since like the dawn of time, like people like love to watch people like fight.
That is true.
And fail, like, you know, like there's the new, even just the regular news is like celebrities and about like, you know, Britney doing this or whatever.
Like a
Lindsay,
typical
it's like
tabloid has now come into the YouTube world, but
at a different level, because I feel like it's like so fast paced. It's like literally anyone could tweet out some random thing, like a random fact, like not just whatever they make up in their head, and it could like catch on fire and become like a viral tweet or something, or like whatever, or like a YouTube video. It's like there's no like fact in anything that people say, or a lot of things that people say about like certain situations. So it like just becomes a firestorm, and then like people believe it, and they're like, oh my God, like you did what? You said this? Oh my God, like what? And it just becomes like a whole next level thing, and it's like almost in a weird way, like people enjoy it. It's kind of like one of those like, what is it, like a train wreck that you like watch, like, you know, it's like you like want to see it. It's like crazy. What
I've noticed too is like when, like if there's ever like a post that's getting a lot of hate or like somebody that's getting attacked, if you go through, because like you know on like tweets or like Instagram comments you can like or thumbs up hate or like any comment really, but if you go to a post that's like getting a lot of hate comments, and if you look at the likes on the comments, if they all have 1,000 comments, it's the same 1,000 people that go and like and thumbs up every single one. So it always seems like the hate is speaking so loud too, but it's a minority. It always is. It's almost always a minority of people that just have a specific mindset and are angry,
very strong mindset,
and they're loud. So it feels like it's like
everything.
It's everything, but like. It's just important to keep in mind, like Nikita said earlier, like you have to go into it like knowing that you can never force everybody to like you. That's something that I had to learn really quickly. Like I'm someone who loves socializing. I love making friends. I love being liked. I mean, we all do. Like
it's hard. It's also hard not to defend yourself and like your character. Like, people.
I feel like it's now a science when it comes to like an apology video. You have to be so specific, because any wrong move, suddenly you're in more trouble.
Yeah.
Right. It seems so difficult.
Even if it's like a fact.
Right.
Once again, people will never be satisfied. There will always be people, no matter what, that have the mentality and like watching drama and like watching fights, that will never, ever be able to have their minds changed. Like they just won't.
But why is it getting bigger and bigger? Like why does it seem like it's just becoming a bigger monster? With each scandal, it just seems like it elevates.
I think it's fun for them. A lot of people see young YouTuber success as like completely unjustified.
Right.
Because why should this person have $1 million in their bank account when there's this person that's been doing it for 10 years longer? Well, not everybody's journey is the same. This person may have worked harder or thought of better content or been smarter with their stuff, but people don't like that, because that's not how the world typically works.
Right.
So they see it as like unfair and unjust.
And so when this drama happens, it's like, girl, ha ha ha.
They're ready to take it down, because it's like, people want that. I feel like every kid right now like wants to be a YouTuber.
Of course.
Like, it's a fun job and it's an amazing job.
Who wouldn't want to be themselves?
Right. Who wouldn't want to get paid, make people happy, and be able to produce content that's like fun? Like just live your life on camera. Like it's like literally the dream job for everybody, but it's not as attainable as everybody seems to think. And
otherwise everyone
would be doing it. So I think that's one of the reasons why people like are so intrigued and fascinated by cancel culture, because it's like they think what you have is not justified. They don't think it's fair.
Just because you have like a beautiful home and are very successful, that doesn't justify the amount of hate that any of us would get. It doesn't.
At the end of the day, like, money cannot buy happiness.
At all.
At all. Like, and people always say like, oh, but like they always like, oh, but if I were rich, I would pay off my bills. And like, yeah, of course, like it's great. That's gonna make you happy time being, but like money cannot solve all the world's problems. Like it can't make you happy. It can't cure depression. It can't get rid of dangerous thoughts. Like if you're dealing with something, like those feelings are valid no matter who you are. No matter if you're like dirt poor or like a billionaire. Like feelings are feelings, and like they're valid, and it's important to not invalidate other people's feelings depending on what they're going through, because you literally never know. And like especially when you are a creator too, like it's important to know as followers that like creators pick and choose what they put online. Like they pick and choose. Like there's things that
mostly just positive. Like
and it's almost all positive, because like that's
who wants
the point.
To like nobody post like all these like crazy what you're really feeling or what you're thinking.
But it's important to realize like behind the scenes, like
there's a lot.
There's a lot that goes on. The things that people and followers will never know, both good and bad. And that's not like, it's not like some secret society or whatever, but like, even if you think about it, like even as a viewer, like there are things about you that your friends or your family don't know. Like it's the same thing with creators. Like it's just human behavior. Like
it's interesting for me because I've been on YouTube for so long, and it seems like in the past like 3 or 4 years, the beauty community has really emerged as like one of the biggest parts of YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's definitely the loudest right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you guys all just like, why is there so much drama that comes within the beauty community and not so much outside? Why is it just the beauty community that has all this attention?
I mean, if you think about it, makeup industry in general just like kind of blew up with the new age.
Yeah.
And so people wanted to know, okay, like what is this person really doing? Like what is this person liking, or like what is this person subtweeting about or whatever?
Well, do you think it started with friendships and
Yes.
like people dividing, and
I think
then it became like a
it's
size?
an industry of girls and gays.
Right.
Is the reality of the
At the end of the
situation.
day.
At the end, on the very surface level,
Okay.
it's an industry of girls and gays, and it's. I mean, like,
Things are
I
gonna
can
happen.
speak as a gay. You can speak as a woman. Like, we're dramatic people.
Yeah.
It's like we're dramatic people. We're. I mean, at the end of the day, too, like all YouTubers, regardless of the level, every YouTuber has somewhat of an ego, and
Yeah.
you have to be narcissistic a little bit to get on camera and to show yourself to the world. You
Right.
have to be.
Edit yourself.
Some level,
Boom,
right?
boom.
Not everybody. There's some crazy narcissists.
Yep.
There's some people with a big ego, like me. I can admit that. Or there's some people that may appear as humble, but still, once again, you never know what's on behind the scenes
Right.
because some of the people that, regardless,
For sure.
no matter if it's hidden or apparent, everyone has a little bit of an ego.
Yeah.
And that, at some point, once again, either public or behind the scenes, is going to clash.
Okay.
It's going to clash. And it's just like, that's the nature of like the people that exist in this community. It's all people that are striving to be perfect and to look perfect and to look beautiful and to like act a certain way and produce content a certain way or like dress a certain way.
Yeah.
And that's gonna cause problems. Like there's so many different
It's dramatic.
There's so many different aspects of it too that can lead to problems.
Makes sense.
Like when I first started, I definitely got involved with a lot of drama when it came to like shading other people or like getting into stuff, which was so stupid to me. And I learned very quickly that that was not the way to do things or to grow because it was affecting my business opportunities. So I was like, okay, let me keep my mouth shut. But then I realized I also had no idea what I was talking about because like I was a fan going into it. And I think now so many fans have that mentality that I did. It's like, I know what's going on. I heard this from this person. I
Right.
heard this little rumor. So I know that this is what's going on behind the scenes. And it's 100% always wrong.
Yeah.
It's always wrong. Like the reality is
Right.
you just don't know unless you're literally in that inner circle friend group, and even like
Right.
you just never are.
For a lot of like the traditional tabloids, I remember growing up and like my parents telling me, "Oh, like that's all fake.
Yeah.
Like none of it is real."
Yeah.
But I don't think people watching YouTube who watch the drama videos know that
Yeah.
most of the time those videos that the drama channels are making are very inaccurate.
Almost
And
always.
Absolutely. Because it is like this new wave, a new era of the social media and like of online just everything. So it's kind of hard for people
There's
to
so
like,
much to consume that it's hard for people to actually take the time to really research.
Think about
They
it.
take it. That's entertaining for me. I like that. I like that narrative.
That's it.
I'm gonna keep that
Well, it's
here.
all about being a smart consumer too. It's, I mean, like, it's back to like the drama stuff. It's more fun to believe like
The crazy
the
stuff.
crazy
The
stuff or the
juicy
drama than it is
drama, the shade.
than it is to believe the
Yeah.
truth. Then of course there's three truths to every situation: yours, the other person's, and whatever like the reality of what happened. It's just like a toxic behavior, but it's all about being a smart consumer and understanding like, okay, like if this is a sponsored review, maybe take everything they say with a grain of salt and like watch. If it's looking good,
Right.
okay, like clearly this is good. Or like if this
that.
person has a history of recommending good product that you've tried in the past
Exactly.
and it's always good, like check it out. Like when I first started, like I watched like Desi Perkins and Jaclyn Hill and everything that they recommended. I was like, add to cart, buy right now, because I knew like I watched them
it
put it
came
on and I was
from
like, this
them.
bitch
Yeah.
looks perfect, like perfect, like stamped, blended, filtered. I was like, I need that shit right now. And it's like there's still people to this day that I will always go to when I need a recommendation. Like even now as a beauty guru, like I
Yeah.
still look to other people or my fellow gurus or other channels that I watched for recommendations.
Yeah. I have seen some of these drama videos, and after knowing a lot of people in the beauty community, it's shocking and also comedic. Some of these things that they come up with that are just
Yeah.
so ridiculous. I'm like, oh my God, they're so wrong. Like, I wish I could say something, but
It's really
obviously.
frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be very
Yeah.
frustrating to feel paralyzed because you can't talk against them. Like, you just can't.
Well, you can. And like, I mean, I feel like a lot of us have many different times. I feel like it's like...
But it never...
But it doesn't always work is the thing.
Yeah.
And like a lot of times, like once again, it's those people that want to believe that and you can never change. There's this group of people that subscribe to that content for a reason. They're subscribed for a reason. They want that. They want that mindset. They want to see that drama. They want to see those fights. They want to believe those crazy narratives. And they're just going to be that way no matter what.
I am curious because of this whole cancel culture. I feel like I haven't actually seen someone stay canceled.
No.
Is being canceled permanent? Like
no. I've never witnessed anyone be permanently canceled that I can think of. I mean, James is sitting here, so. I mean, I've been canceled a couple of times before as well. I mean, I can speak for myself. I think that like in the moment, it definitely feels like the whole world is against you and you feel like your life and your career and everything is just over. Like it just feels like, oh my God, like everyone is against me and like I can't even say anything. And it just like, it truly does feel like a permanent thing. And it's like hard to like, especially now going through it a couple times, it's like hard to kind of be like, okay, yeah, you know, like next week someone's gonna have another drama and they're gonna be on to that. But it's kind of like the evil, ugly kind of mindset that I've been kind of having and I feel like other people in the industry have, where it's like, yes, this drama is happening with me right now, but I know it's gonna end at some point because like if this person got through it, then I can get through it. Yeah. I mean, obviously at the end of the day, you want to learn, you want to get through it, but I think at the same time, when there's still that continuous outside hate after learning, after kind of like moving on and like, you know, continuing your journey, it's like you'll still get the trickle of comments like here and there, and it's like kind of
Didn't you say this? Didn't you do this?
You're
this.
Yeah, anytime you have a success, like I think you just always know that from XYZ dramas or whatever things, like there's always going to be
It's always going to...
It's always going to be brought up.
Do you still get stuff from your past dramas brought up?
Yes,
or is
all
it
the time.
really?
All the time.
It must be very paralyzing. I feel like there must be so many times where you're just like, the criticism just gets to you and you're like, well, fuck it. Like, why should I even keep posting if I'm just going to be criticized so much?
Yeah.
Have you guys ever felt that where you're...
I mean, my first video back even last week literally has like, I think it's like 150,000 thumbs down, which is like, it's not my most disliked
That was
video.
your first video back after your break, right?
Yeah, but it's like, I had to keep in mind, like, these are people that literally, and as soon as I posted too, I lost like 30,000 subscribers. Like,
I was one of them. Sorry, no, actually I wasn't. I wasn't subscribed at all.
Oh, right, okay.
She already was unsubscribed.
Right, okay. But I once again had to sit there and be like, okay, these are people that were subscribed, hoping that my next video back would be about drama, would be a drag, would be something crazy. Okay. And once again, I had to get into that mindset of like, let them go. Let them go, let them thumbs down. They'll get bored eventually. They'll eventually move on. Right. And even that video had like 20,000 thumbs down within the first like 10 minutes of me posting it. Today's video, it's been up for like 3 hours. It only has like 3,000 thumbs down. So it's like, they literally got bored that fast. Like it literally only takes a second.
The most recent drama, so they're kind of...
It's just like, it's a very like, it is a crushing feeling, but you really have to pay attention to the people that are supporting. Like the video got 500,000 thumbs up, and like that's really good for
incredible.
me. Like that's really good for me. So I was super excited.
That's great.
And like
support.
a lot of the comments were really positive, and like I have comment filters on, so like it's hard to comment negative things. I'm sure there would have been more hate comments, but like, it just helps to read the positive comments and not see the stupid ones.
Ladies,
yes,
who wants a s'more?
I do. I want this one.
Okay.
I want this nice and juicy.
Stuck to the plate.
Did you put it on the plate?
Oh, look at that good.
Oh, that one's good.
That was a commercial. Replay that in 60 frames a second.
Oh my God.
Oh, not the Balenciaga!
Not the Balenciagas.
No!
Oh my God.
Nikita, I'll kill you!
Here's a napkin. Oh my God.
No, it's stuck!
This is why the beauty
Oh my God.
Nikita, you rat.
It was already there. I didn't do anything. Ew.
You messy
wet?
women. Oh my God.
Why do people even say we're dramatic? It's really not even that dramatic.
When did you move to LA?
I moved to LA 3 years ago.
Okay.
4.
You went straight
I'm
to
about
college,
to be 4.
right?
I've never visited LA before, so when I turned down my scholarship to NYU, didn't go off to New York.
She was going to be an actress in a previous life.
She was. He was gonna be an actress.
Oh,
He was, and so I turned down my New York life, and I never visited LA, so I was just like, okay, like if I, threw away New York, then I have to go to LA.
Yeah.
And so I just packed everything up. My mom dropped me off. I got a scholarship to go to the school out here that I attended, and it was for business and beauty, marketing, and business. So it was like the business side of makeup, because I'm like the same. Like I'm obsessed with business.
We text all the time back and
We
forth
go
about
in about business things, and like I thought like one day I'd work for like a Too Faced. I don't think Morphe was around, but like a brand like a Sephora. And
did you know that you were fully like you were trans back home?
No.
Or it wasn't until you moved to LA
It
that
wasn't,
you found out what it
yeah,
was? Okay.
I think I was just not only uneducated, but I think I was also just like really not ready. I mean, I moved here when I was like not that old, so I feel like I was just really naive to the idea. I think it just first started at such like a little thing. It was like I was uncomfortable. I couldn't even go into the boys' bathroom because like I was just so feminine looking. Like I just like looked like a woman.
So woman.
No, I really did. No, yeah. Even more so than sister over here in her clocky self.
Well.
No, but it started as a little thing and it developed over time. And I think for me the biggest thing was like when I was introduced to the trans women that I never seen in the media, because I think for me growing up in Virginia, when I thought of a trans person, I was educated to be like almost like a drag queen, like someone who was like tall dude, with a wig or whatever.
Very clocky.
Very clocky and just like, like almost like a caricature of like what trans really is. And so when I met the beautiful trans woman that like, I have literally, even to this day, like I have nothing on, like biggest boobs, biggest ass, like tiniest little waist. And it's like, they taught me everything I knew, but like, unfortunately, I mean, they're honest about it. Like a lot of them are working girls. So a lot of them were being paid by, high class businessmen or like basketball players, rappers, like all sorts of things. And especially too being like young and surrounded by that, I think it was like almost an allure to be like almost like a sugar baby to like, they would wake up at like 3 p.m. every day and like have their like red Louboutins and like, it was almost
Sign
like,
me up, I'm ready.
I know. It's like almost like how could you like not want to like fall into that life, and especially too like I didn't even think about like dating back then. Like I was like, oh my god, I never even experienced being like a gay man like dating at all, because that was like uncomfortable to me. Like I wanted like a straight guy, whatever, because obviously internally I've always been a woman, so it's like. I think it just was like so magical, kind of maybe in the same way that like YouTube is for people. I mean, obviously not on the same level, but like I think it was just something that I was not educated in, but that was like the start of like why I wanted to get on social media, because I just wanted to like be different. Like not that I had anything against how anyone else makes their money, because I definitely don't. Like I still am close with the girls. Yeah. But I just like I didn't want that to be my life. I especially didn't want anyone, or especially any man, to have like that thing over me of like I paid for her, or like she's at where she is.
She wanted to make her own money.
She did. She wanted to make her own. I was a hustler for sure. I definitely hustled a few surgeries here and there, but all on my own terms. Yeah. And it's been wild. Obviously, like I feel like I've always been in the mindset a little bit more so narcissistically from like a standpoint of like I've always been doing this to document. Like I've always been I've always wanted to like look back on my journey, and like now I can thankfully like look back at when the first time I ever said I'm trans, or like the first time I ever was getting my estrogen shots, or like kind of falling into this life. And I think my whole idea mindset has been about like transformation and about like me going through my journey.
So my dating didn't begin until I was 21, so it's like I can't imagine being like that open. I was also like very private because I wasn't out publicly, but like I can't imagine going through dating on like a public scale when I'm just starting out. It's like you learn what you like, what you don't like. You're like
I don't think James and I are the good dating prospects.
Well, does that like affect you now in your dating world? It's like, are you so cautious about like who you can really even date?
Yeah, it's bad. Like I just haven't had the best experiences of people that I've chosen from. I guess I'll say. I guess like, and the reality is like no relationship's ever perfect. Like I'm not gonna act like I've never been in a relationship before, so I have no idea how to like be perfect to somebody, or like we said before, like all human beings are different. Everybody has different needs and different personality traits. So like, no people are ever going to be like 100% perfect matches for each other. But I've definitely made some poor picks in the past from boys that I've been with, and it's ended badly. What's so crazy too is like after everything that just went on, both of the situations with the boys had ended several months prior. They were already well over with, and then it got brought back up with all the drama.
Of course.
But like from those boys, I had already learned the experiences and the valuable lessons. Like I had already been able to heal from them, look at them from an outside perspective, look at the things that I could learn and grow from both myself and for red flags that I should look out for. So like 2 months later, I was already like, okay, I'm ready. Like I'm ready to move on. Let's talk to another boy at this point. Like I'm excited. I know what to look for at this point. I'm more prepared mentally. I'm 2 months older. Like I'm ready to go. And then it all gets brought back up, and then all these like accusations and things come out that were absolutely not true in terms of dating, and it just made me look like crazy. And of course now there's like my Instagram DMs are all straight guys right now being like, I would so fuck the shit out of you, but it's all like guys that just want me to reply so they can post a screenshot. Yeah, they're like baiting me. They're baiting, Like I've had like big YouTubers do it too, like hundreds of thousands of followers, and like
so they can make a video.
So they can make a video, or like there's been so many of them have messaged me, and I'll reply literally being like, which number out of the 100 am I? Because everyone's doing that I'm DMing 100 YouTubers or 100 celebrities thing right now. So I started replying to them being like, fuck you, I know what you're doing. And they're all like 37, 24. I'm like, I know exactly what you're doing. Like this isn't funny, this isn't cute, this is like, I'm a person. Like I get like you want a fun video, but like this is my emotions. And like this is clearly something that I've struggled a lot with. And like especially after dealing with what I just went through, like all the like the beauty drama stuff aside, like dating is like very challenging for anybody, like especially like as a young gay man. Like it's really tough.
In LA.
And like I don't want to sound like, oh, I'm a victim. Like once again, I've made a lot of mistakes myself, and like I put myself in this situation as an influencer, so like it's not like, oh, boo-hoo, cry for me, but like at the same time, like it is hard.
It is.
It's not the end of the world, because there are worse things out there, but it's hard.
You have like a whole checklist of things that I'm sure you go through of like, okay, are you doing this? Is this your intentions? Like that must be so exhausting.
It is. And like,
at some point you get so screwed over, you just have to be so guarded and careful that like it just makes it harder for the next person. I feel like that's always been my biggest thing. Like I feel like I trust people, and like I really do try to see the good in all of them, and especially when they're cute.
Nikita and I had almost the same experience.
We've both had crazy experiences. Like mine a little bit more like, I guess, off camera, just because I feel like I've maybe not for the better, because I've had to deal with things that like just no one really knows about, and like it's just like hard to deal with people who aren't really in it for the right intentions, because it's not only I think I can be very business about things. I can be very like, okay, this person's trying to use me for my business. Like, no, defend myself, great, whatever. But then to add the like personal level onto it of like, no, these are like my emotions that are like invested into the situation. It like complicates things, and it makes it so much harder. Actually, recently I had a situation where like I had FaceTimed a guy, and I went to go eat with him, and he opened his phone, and he like he scrolled on his like photos.
Camera roll?
Yeah, camera roll. But like before he scrolled, I saw it literally was like 3 screenshots of me on FaceTime with him, and then a screenshot of like a specific photo like on my Instagram to like, you know, send to his friends of like, oh, look at her, this is her Instagram, da 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 da. And I literally called him out on it, and like it was just not a good situation. But it was like I literally was like, and he closed his phone and everything, like as if I was like too stupid to see. I'm like, excuse me.
Why did you screenshot?
Yeah, and he's like, what are you talking about? And I literally opened that fucking phone. I went, scrolled all the way fucking back down, and I was like, this one right here.
Oh, yes, bitch.
I mean, the last boy that I was involved with screen recorded an entire FaceTime call to upload to YouTube to try to drag me down.
You just must like, I don't know how you can trust people at this point.
I don't really know. I feel like I used to be fascinated with the idea of having like a social media relationship. I was like, I want a social media boyfriend with 1 million followers. Like, let's get all the likes together. Like, real relationship, mind you. Like, definitely was never in it for like, oh, just a clout thing. But like, of course, like that's like fun
no,
too.
Of
like,
course,
let's have a social media boyfriend, like, posting photos together, like super cute, like be the social media couple.
That?
Like I was so obsessed with that idea,
and I would done that.
Yeah, but and like I'll talk to a lot of different YouTubers or social media people like on the DL, and like, and even those people like still, like there were guys that I would talk to for months on end, and they'd be like, hey, actually, like I found out like there was this one guy that I was talking to for months on end, and like would like FaceTime me, like send me all sorts of photos, like wanted to get together, and then all of a sudden I found out he had a girlfriend the entire time.
No.
And I was like, what? Like I was not okay with being, I was not okay with being the side hoe, first of all. Second of all, I found out like he was obviously like not fully gay, or like he could have been bi or straight, like whatever. Like I was just like something on the DL, but I was like, I'm not a homewrecker. Like this is not who I am. Like this is not okay, and I didn't know. Like so that happened to me before. I've had guys use me and stuff. So like I feel like just because of things that have happened, I've moved away from the idea of being with somebody on social media. Like I want like a normal person.
Me too.
Someone with 0 followers, someone who doesn't care about my world, someone who like
that.
is just completely out of it, who doesn't give a fuck about me or what I do. Like I feel like it would just be easier that way. It's obviously a little bit more challenging because there's a lot of catching up to do. And I've tried it before, and it's hard.
It's difficult, but in the long run, I
feel like it'll be better.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
So I haven't had any luck yet, but I'm not trying actively right now at all.
I feel like that's your safest bet.
Open. Just open.
You're open?
No, yeah. Well, I mean, just open to like.
She's open for business?
Open for business.
She's always open for business.
No, it's not. I feel like it's more of like before I was actively seeking.
Okay.
You know?
Same.
I was very intently seeking. Like I was like, oh my God, like I'm just, I'm killing it in my career right now. Like everyone's booed up. Like why have I not had a freaking like man for me, like or anything? And so like for a while I was, and I think for me it was a little different because I think it's almost like an opposite thing where it was like my social media presence was more of like a, like a sexy girl. I'm like half naked all the time, but that's just, me. And I feel like guys' preconceived notions of me like weren't always the deepest. Like, they thought it was shallow or just like in it for the wrong reasons. And so a lot of times it just ended not so great because it was just like they were just not in it for the
long haul.
Yeah, the long haul or like whatever.
It's so hard to navigate that world, especially living in LA. Like that's just another added challenge. So I feel for you guys, and I'm always here for you.
Thanks.
Okay, switching gears a little bit. With the beauty community being so, like, the players are there, is there any more room for new emerging people to, like, come up, or do you feel like it's impossible at this point?
I don't think it's impossible.
I don't think it's impossible. It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Tough.
I feel like when I first started, like, there was a very select group of people, like, at the top, right, getting a lot of views, like, they were killing it. Like, everyone knew them as, like, the holy, like, grails of the beauty community. They're all the people that I grew up watching, right? And over time, like, a lot of people have felt like, oh, like, they've died off, they're gone, and now, like, the community is dead, like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And, like, this is something that I've talked about a lot, too. And, like, I truly believe, like, oh, the beauty community is dying, and I thought that for so long. Until somebody pointed out to me, they're like, the beauty community isn't dying because all those people are still getting the same views. There's just now new players that are just blowing it out of the water. That, like, came up.
Right.
It's, the community has just skyrocketed like we were talking about earlier, but not everybody has skyrocketed with it, and that's fine. So I think it is possible to come up. Like I grew quickly, and I really didn't think I was going to be anybody important at all, let alone one of like the top dogs.
Right.
Which is really cool. Like that was exciting for me, and I think that's because like I did a lot of like original content ideas, and I think like one of the reasons why people aren't growing is because of the fact that beauty's been around for so long, but is just now starting to blow up, that everything has been done.
Right.
Everything has been done. Every challenge you could think of, every way to apply your makeup has been think of.
I mean, tutorials isn't a thing anymore, right?
Not really.
Not too much. People just don't.
People aren't interested in that.
The past couple of years have been kind of crazy for everyone.
Yeah.
What is one thing that you've learned from your mistakes?
God, there's so many.
It's a loaded question.
Like, it's kind of a list. I mean, I think I can be honest with it. I think for me, my biggest thing was learning when and when not to speak. I think for a lot of times, a lot of people with scandals and with drama situations, it's like kind of the running joke of like, I don't talk or like I don't make an apology video or like whatever. But I think for me, I always envision it as like, this is truly something that I need to digest and I need to make changes as a person. So it's like not everything needs something for me to respond to, or like not every lie that's out there I need to like go and correct somebody on or like whatever, because it's like I had to learn that I can't win in that sense of like pleasing everybody, and that's just something that like I had to hammer into myself and like just my mindset like over and over and over again, because it's like at the end of the day you don't want to like have lies out there, or like you don't want to have like people not liking you, as we've been talking about, but it's just like sometimes you do have to just take the breath and like kind of let your talent and your work ethic and your portfolio speak for itself. It's like I continue to keep on and whatever. So I think it's just like that one thing I just learned was just like take a chill pill, like relax. Like the drama is crazy and like it does consume your life obviously at some points, and sometimes it's like really wild, but it's like understanding like what I can focus my energy on. So like even if there is a crazy scandal happening with like me and my friends or whatever, and I'm like involved or what have you, and like so many lies are being thrown out, like I'm gonna focus that energy now instead of like attacking all these people and going off and going crazy and like you know, taking off my wig and like attacking everyone, to like now just focusing on my craft and like to not only bettering myself but also just like working harder to like prove like obviously that's not the case, you know. So I feel like that was just my personal biggest thing after this crazy year that's been.
Good.
I'm still working on that. I wish I was a lot better at picking and choosing when to speak, because I feel like I do, like I said, like I do always want people to like me, and like having lives and stuff, it's like very frustrating. But I feel like that's like one of the biggest lessons that I've learned. You briefly touched on it, is like no matter what, like you can't always have everyone liking you. Like you just can't. And like that for me was a really hard pill to swallow when I first started, because I just love making friends. I love making people happy. I love inspiring people. Like nothing makes me happier than like making my followers happy. And I quickly had to learn, like, it's literally not possible. Like there will always be people who no matter what will not like you, will not support you, will be either angry or mad or unforgiving or jealous. And it's like, you have to focus on the people that are still there, that are willing to learn and grow with you, and that want to like love and support, and that have that type of energy in their heart. And I think that that is something that I have gotten good at, is like understanding that and like not getting too caught up on like the likes and the dislikes and stuff, and like just kind of being like a little bit more in the moment. I think especially like from like I learned that a lot from this past situation. Like when I was overseas, like my manager had my phone, I told you that, like almost the entire time, just like I wouldn't be involved with anything, and like so I couldn't talk about it. Obviously I was going through so much, like I didn't have time to be on my phone anyway. But like being like through that, I, in almost a good way, like I'm now able to like leave a room with my phone in it and like go do something else and like not be like like checking it every 6 seconds, like hearing like a ding, like an imaginary ding in my head, like, oh, there's a text, like, that used to happen to me all the time. Like I literally was so addicted to it, and like I was addicted to refreshing and checking the likes and like thinking of new content ideas, like texting my friends or like being in the group chat and stuff, and like all that stuff. And I just realized like it's such a waste of time. Like it's such a waste. And like I've always valued like in-person time and like real relationships and stuff, but I feel like this more than anything has always taught me like the social media world is always going to be there tomorrow, but like you never know like what's going to happen with your friends or your family. You need to cherish like every day like it's your last, and like really appreciate the relationships that you have, because like those people that are like really there. Like social media is like a facade at the end of the day. Like you can turn it off and like it's really gone. I feel like you don't look, but like your friends are there, and it's like very important for me at least to like
that's a really great important lesson to learn. And it's tough when that's what you grow up on and like what your whole life is surrounded by. So that's good. So I think I'm going to ask one more question.
Okay.
And that's what's next for each of you. Like what's your dream? Like what do you wish could happen?
Dream?
Yeah. What is your dream?
My dream? I know, I'm like, go ahead. I mean, that's always hard. I feel like when people are like, I feel like everything's so unpredictable, especially in this world. And so, I mean, I think for me, like, I just want to continue to focus on, like, just doing stuff that, like, I've always loved to do. Now being, like, a CEO of my own brand, like Dragun Beauty, is obviously... She's a businesswoman. She's a CEO.
She's a CEO.
She's a CEO, honey. LLC mogul. Which is, like, crazy to say. Like, I mean, even to, like, randomly, like, last night I was in the club and, like, I shook this guy's hand. He was like, you have a CEO handshake. And I'm like...
I am.
Little do you know, honey. Little do you mother effing know. But I mean, that to me is beyond like more of like a passion project for me, because even outside of makeup, I think for me it just represents so much more in terms of like wanting to give back to my community as well as just everyone in general. I feel like I've been like such an architect of my own beauty, of like transforming, and I've been honest about it, whether it's Facetune surgeries, whatever. Like I've always been kind of creating and molding things. So I feel like for me, literally,
lots of molding.
Lots of molding. Lots of molding.
She's perfect. She doesn't need anything.
Okay.
Let's go. I'm the angel, you're the devil on the shoulder.
We couldn't go to dinner after. We're actually headed to Mexico.
We're going to.
TJ, little TJ mama.
So that's why you can't.
No, okay. But yeah, I feel like I've had a very learning experience with the whole thing. I mean, you know, obviously I had like the viral moment with Victoria's Secret, and I think that was just more of a wake-up call for me to understand that yes, I am, yes, a trans person with now this huge platform, who's like, you know, I can make a big difference, and that's what I want to continue to do. But at the same time, I think it's also just finding me as myself, like my own internal happiness of just like what I like to do, and like whether it's like entertainment, whether it's fashion, whether it's like makeup or wigs or whatever. I feel like everything's an opportunity, and I'm definitely one of those people who's like, anything I do at like 1 million trillion and then percent plus a little estrogen pill on top of it.
Just a little estrogen pill.
Just a little estrogen shot, mama. And I don't know, it's a really cool time, like for me to be able to do like literally whatever I want and experience things, and like I feel like I have like such a great group of friends around me, and like having experienced so much now, it's just like, it's crazy. I can't even think like sometimes like a week or two ahead. Like I'll do something and I'll be like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like you're very on the fly. Like you make shit happen real quick.
Yeah.
You're like, it's in my head, I want to make it happen.
And like, boom. I'm that way. I'm like not a good planning person. I'm just like very like, okay, boom, this, that, boom.
Yeah,
and something
on to
happens.
the next thing.
Yeah.
What about you, James?
Right now, we keep having very similar answers. Like right now, my search is like for happiness again. I haven't been happy in like quite a while. And I really want to get back to the place where like I'm just like healthy and like waking up every morning like motivated to get to work. Being like a workaholic truly does make me happy in like a really messed up way. Like I love the days where I get up at 6 a.m. and don't go to bed until like 3, and I just feel like I got 18 million things done. Like those are my favorite days in the entire world, and like I haven't had those in a very, very long time, obviously dealing with everything, and like I'm just slowly easing my way back into everything right now, but I really miss like working and just having ideas and spending time with my friends and just like being truly, truly, truly happy. And I think that's going to come from just really focusing on the things that like make me excited and like make me feel motivated, because I feel like before I was really like I was so happy for a really good chunk of time, but for the last like several months I kind of fell out of that a little bit because I was forcing myself really to think of content, like to keep posting and keep on that schedule, and I wasn't as excited about the things that I was doing. And people definitely started to catch on too. Like my followers, they're smart people. Like sometimes they do know what's going on behind the scenes, and they knew, and they're like, okay, like we feel like this isn't the same James that we knew. Like what's going on? Like can we help? Like what's the tea here? I mean, like they were right. Like I was just not feeling it the same way that I was before, and I kind of like lost myself a little bit. So I feel like within the next few months, I really want to work on like finding myself again and like really making sure that I'm like producing content only that I'm really enjoying. And like I want my followers to enjoy it too, obviously, but like I know my true ones will if I'm enjoying it. Like if like that'll show through. So I feel like it's really about like just getting myself back to a healthy place right now. But then after that, we have lots of plans and dreams about being a CEO of business local.
I'm sure.
But those are on halt for right now.
Good.
Like just taking like, some personal time.
that's the most important part.
Yeah.
It's like the foundation of everything.
Yeah.
What's next for you? Stop asking us questions.
Me?
What's next for you? You're like, oh my God, what do you mean?
Season 5,
An all-winner season, mama.
No, I love Escape the Night. I'd love to do it season 5, and I'd love for sister James to be in it.
Well, you know she'll win.
She said, you think you're going to join the winner's circle?
I will be in the winner's circle.
She's a little ambitious.
She's the queen of escape room, so.
No more to that. Like we said, it's a 360, honey. That's just part of it. There's also voting involved, sweetie.
Well, luckily, I have a lot of friends. But they're depleting.
Okay.
Oh my God, okay. Okay, well, we'll end the episode here. Thank you guys so much for coming to my Campfire Kiki.
Thank you for having us, sister.
You're welcome. If you guys want to go check out their channels, I will link them down below. Leave a comment down below who else you want to see around my campfire. And until next time, I'll see you next time. Good damn
bye.
Oh.
Good damn bye. Came over, Kiki.